welcome to White Wolf Yoga. In today's class, we're going to be looking at breaking down some of the foundation poses in a little bit more depth. So I've got with me a block, which might come in handy later on. It's not essential that you need a block to practice this class, to join in. If you've got one, get it out and get it ready. If not, you always use a book or something of that sort of height that will basically do the same job. So then we're going to get started in a nice comfortable seated position to begin with. So if crossing the knees doesn't feel right for you, if that causes you any discomfort at all in the joints, just feel free to outstretch the legs in front of the body. What we're looking for is nice length through the spine, openness through the chest, so we'll expand through the collarbones. Just to release any tension through the neck and the shoulders, we'll inhale, shrug the shoulders up towards the ears, and exhale, feel the shoulder blades relax down the back. Taking the hands on top of the knees, with the palms facing up towards the ceiling. And just closing the eyes just for a couple of moments here as we allow our awareness to shift. So allowing any thoughts or any distractions of the room or the day just to dissolve into the background. And take a moment or two to connect to the natural flow of breath through the body. Just following your own rhythm of breath without feeling any need to change or control it. Just observe how you're breathing right now. Where the breath comes from, the nose or the mouth. How the body moves with the inhale and relaxes with the exhale. Just preparing our mind before we prepare the body for today's practice. And so we'll begin with a gentle seated warm-up. Take an inhale together, and as we do, we'll lift and lengthen the crown of the head a little bit higher to the sky. And then as we exhale, can we drop the right ear down towards the right shoulder? Aim here is on releasing tension from the neck. So we'll soften at the jaw, we'll relax the eyes and the gaze. And maybe pull that left shoulder a little further away from the ear down towards the ground. That head just hanging towards the right side, it's not being forced down. Just gently opening, gently releasing stress and tension. Take a next inhale to bring the head all the way back up on top of the shoulders, and as we exhale, we'll go the other way. We'll drop that left ear towards the left shoulder. Make sure we're not subconsciously holding on to tension in the face. Soften completely, and perhaps even pull that right shoulder a little further away from the ear if that feels good along the right side. And then exhale to bring the head all the way back up on top of the shoulders. Next breath, we're going to drop the chin down towards the chest. Allow the head to hang here. Both shoulders relax away from the ears. See how you feel across the back of the neck and the shoulders in this pose. If you feel that you want a little bit more, and this is just an option, release the hands from the knees, clasp the hands together, and gently rest the palms of the hands on the back of the head. And we're not pressing down through the hands, we're not pushing the chin in towards the chest, but just rather that gentle little bit of pressure, just to open and release deeper into the neck if we feel we need it. This is really nice for anyone who gets headaches, tension headaches in particular, migraines. This can feel like a really nice release from that. Let's slowly pick up the head, back on top of the shoulders, back into a neutral position, and open the eyes if the eyes are still closed. From here, we're going to keep the hands where they are and drop that right elbow down towards the ground and pick up the left elbow towards the ceiling. Openness of the body is priority. So keep pulling back that top shoulder, pulling forward through the bottom shoulder. Feel that openness running all the way along the left side from the hip to the waist to the ribs and up to the shoulder. Inhale back to the middle and exhale, right elbow towards the ceiling, left elbow towards the floor. Let's do that once more on each side, nice and gently, nice and slowly. Inhale up. Exhale, right elbow down, left elbow up. And inhale to center. Exhale, left elbow down. Right elbow up. Keep rotating, keep open, keep nice and tall through the spine. Let's inhale all the way back to center. Release the hands from behind the head and take them up and into the sky. Rotating the wrists a couple of times in one direction and a couple of times in the other. Let's drop that left hand towards the outside of the right leg and bring the right hand round behind the back. Inhale, press through the right fingertips, lift and lengthen through the spine. And as we exhale, twist and turn the gaze over that right shoulder. Keeping the spine tall, inhale, grow a little higher. And exhale, if there's room, twist a little deeper. Feeling the expansion of the belly as you breathe. On an inhale, belly expands. And on an exhale, the belly softens. Take the next exhale to release, come back to center and inhale the arms all the way up. Exhale, let's go the other way. Right hand coming outside of the left leg, left hand coming round behind the body. Inhale to grow tall and exhale to twist. Another breath if we can. Inhale, lengthen and exhale, twist. Holding and breathing through this twist. The belly like a balloon, inflating on the inhale and deflating on the exhale. And with the next exhale, we release, come back to center. Inhale to send those arms all the way back up into the air. Stretch out those wrists again before taking ourselves from seated up and onto all fours. So any way that you can get there is fine. We'll find our nice aligned tabletop where we've got shoulders over elbows over wrists. Fingers spread nice and wide. Knees directly beneath our hips. Toes are flat against the mat. Let's go for cow and cat. Inhale, press through the palms and the toes, pull the heart forward, lift the hips and the gaze into cow stretch. Going the other way as we exhale, pull the navel in towards the spine, drop the head down and round the back off and into cat. Another couple, inhale into cow, matching the movement of the body with the movement of the breath where you can. Exhale, push back, round off, push that heart up to the sky, cat. Once more, each side. Inhale as we press up to open. Exhale as we press back to release. Now then, from our cat stretch, we'll come back into a neutral spine. Tuck the toes under, push into the palms, and we'll press all the way up into down dog. It's our first one. Keep it nice and easy. You could always soften at the elbows just to take any or too much pressure into the wrists and the hands when they're still warming up. Lift the hips up high towards the sky. Draw the heels down towards the ground. Walk the dog, pedal the heels up and down. Just get into those hamstrings a little bit more. Check the head position. So if we're looking forward, or even if we're looking straight down, the neck's going to be a little too tight and tense for what we're after. So we'll drop the head down. Let the eyes look between the legs towards the back of the room. You can always check the softness of the head and the neck. Give it a little shake, side to side, up and down. And then when you're ready, we'll walk it in. Walking from down dog all the way into forward fold. Bend those knees as much as you need. Protect the lower back. If you tighten the hamstring, you've got any back issues, you're going to want a nice deep bend in those knees. As you get more open, more flexible, and if you want a bit more, you can start to straighten into the legs, but it's always just an option. It doesn't mean it's a bad pose if the knees are bent, or it's a great pose if the legs are straight. Listen to the body. Do what feels right for you. Okay, let's get ready to come to our standing positions. So first we'll just bring the head to hip height, allowing regulation of the blood pressure and the spine to balance, and then when you're ready, from flat back, root down through the feet. Inhale the arms all the way up into prayer, and as we exhale, we'll take the hands down, past the heart, into mountain pose. Give a little shake side to side. With the arms, shake the legs out too. Okay, our standing poses. So this is where a block might be handy. So if you've got a block or something that you're using in place of a block, maybe getting that ready. We're going to take our feet wide. So we're not going warrior width, which is generally a bit wider. We're going to come into triangle and triangle variations, going a little bit narrower than you would do for your warrior. Now we'll leave the left toes pointed forward and we'll turn the right toes out to the side. Aligning the heel of the right foot with the arch of the left foot. Nice and strong in both legs, so it's really, it's natural to sort of want to drop into the front leg, wherever the front leg is. But try and keep that weight equally distributed between both sides. So as the weight goes through the hips, it splits into two. 50% into this right leg, front leg, 50% into the back leg. Think about the weight flowing into the outside of the back foot and into the big toe of the front foot. So nice and strong through the legs. Core in, ribs in, inhale, arms up, shoulder height. Stretch that right hand a little further forward, stretch the left hand a little bit further back. And then just so that we can prioritize the openness of the hip and the shoulder as we come into this triangle, we're going to take the left hand onto the hip. We're looking over the right fingers. Inhale, grow a little taller. And then as you exhale, keep the leg straight and reach that right hand away, away, away from the body. And when you feel, you'll get to a point that you feel is deep enough. When you feel it, take the right hand down on the inside of the right leg and open up the shoulders. So the top hip, the top shoulder pulling back, the bottom hip and the bottom shoulder pulling forward. Blocks can be handy here. You can rest the hand onto the block. If you haven't got one, just take the hand to the inside of the leg. We don't want to be dropping loads of weight into this hand. So if the block's there, they are a great way of supporting us through the pose, but we don't want to lean too much weight into them. So if it's there, just kind of rest the hand onto it rather than dropping in. Okay, option if you want a little bit more, release that left hand from the hip and send the left arm straight up into the sky. Notice the openness of the body. That's the priority. Sometimes we can put too much importance on getting this bottom hand to the floor, and in doing that, we take the bottom hand down, but we close off the hip and the shoulder, so we're losing the integrity of what this position is all about. So don't be afraid to slide that hand further up the body, and it allows us more openness. Eye gaze, down to the floor, easier. Up towards that top hand's trickier, you decide what feels good. Okay, let's come out. Press through the feet, inhale the arms up, shoulder height. Exhale the right arm up and into the air, and send the left hand down the back of the left leg. Dropping that right arm back so you can feel a good release into the right ribs, right waist, right hip. Take a nice deep inhale into that right lung. And exhale as we come all the way out. Hands from shoulder height onto the hips. Let's go the other way. Turn the right toes in and the left toes out. If you were using the block, get that back into place. Check your feet alignment, heel and arch in line. Big, weight in the big toe, front foot, outside back foot. Legs nice and strong, core in, ribs in. Let's inhale, arms up. Stretch the left fingers forward and the right fingers back, and then we'll take that right hand onto the right hip. Inhale, grow a little taller. And exhale, the legs stay straight. We're pressing the hip back and reaching that left arm as far forward as we can. We'll know when it's deep enough. You'll feel it on the inside of that left thigh. When you do, drop the left hand down onto your block or on the inside of the leg. And rotate, peel that right hip and shoulder back so we're open. We want to imagine a wall right behind us and we're flush with our back, our hip, our shoulder against that wall as much as we can. You can stay here, you can keep that right hand grounded, or you could go ahead and extend it up towards the ceiling. As you breathe, keep working with the breath. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, open. How's the weight? 50-50 through both feet. Calm, we'll hold and breathe for another 3. Kneecaps engaged, nice and strong. Hold 2. And 1. Press through the feet as we come up. Inhale and back. Exhale. So this time the right hand sliding down the right leg, and we're opening and releasing all the way along that left side of the body. Spreading across the ribs, stretching those intercostal muscles, going beyond the ribs, into the waist and into the hip. Deepen this, take a nice deep inhale into the left lung. And exhale the arms all the way back. Hands come onto the hips. And we'll bring in that left foot. Okay, so we'll just get the block out the way for this next one, this next position. So we move into pyramid pose. So this is quite an intense stretch for our hamstrings. We're going to turn the right foot to the side again. Then we're also going to turn the left foot out to the same direction. So we've got both of our feet as much as we can pointing towards the right hand side. Ideally, you want that foot turned right the way in, but it might not go all the way in. You know, we're all built differently, our joints connect in different ways, so it might be that no matter what you do, that foot's just not going completely in. That's fine. Don't force it. Just take it in that direction. Hips are square, shoulders are square. We'll take the hands onto the hips, slide them back a little so that we can emphasize the openness of the heart. Again, both feet taking equal weight, 50-50 front and back. Inhale, lift through the heart. And then as we exhale, press the hips back. Keep looking forward. Look forward for as long as you can. And then again, you'll feel it when it's deep enough on that right leg. When you feel it's enough, drop the belly and the chest down over the right leg. Relax the head. Hands can stay on the hips, or you could send them down either side of that right foot. So we're aiming for this front leg to be as straight as feels good. But again, if you tighten the hamstrings or the back, you might need a little bit of a bend, that's fine. Bend as much as you need to. Holding and breathing here. On an inhale, we'll see if we can lengthen the head away from the hips, and then as we exhale, we'll fold a little deeper. Thinking about the right hip pushing back and the left hip pushing forward, just to maintain a balance through the hips. Strong position this, you'll feel it, especially if you do a lot of running, play a lot of sports, these muscles at the back of the leg get tight, get tense. And a really nice release. Let's come out. If the hands are on the floor, take them back onto the hips, press through the soles and inhale, peel all the way back up. Again, little lift to the heart and back to center. So we're going to transition. If we can, we're going to turn the feet forward and then out to the side. So we're pivoting all the way over towards the left. So now we've got our left foot forward and our right foot back. Inhale, barrel through the chest. And exhale, press the hips back, lead with the head. Look forward for as long as you can. You'll feel it when you're deep enough. Drop in. Belly and chest down over the leg. Relax the head and either hold there or take your hands down if that feels good. And breathe. This time, left hip's pushing back, right hip's pushing forward. Keeping that weight split evenly between both feet, both legs, if possible, as much as possible. Last couple of breaths. And bring it back. If the hands are on the floor, take them to the hips. Root down through the soles. Take your time, woo. Tricky on the balance. Lifting through the heart. And then we'll rotate. Feet in, both feet pointed towards the top of the mat. Okay, last position. Now this is a tricky one. This is the one that we've been gearing towards with our triangle and with our pyramid. It's called revolving triangle. Block might be handy again for this one. So if you've got one, getting it ready. The position of the feet is the same for pyramid. So we've got our right foot turned to the side and we're bringing that left foot the same direction as the right. Block, if you think you're going to use it, place it towards the outside of that right foot. So it's kind of guesswork when you're putting it down, and then when you come a bit more into the pose, you'll be able to pop that block exactly where you need it. Hips are square, shoulders are square. This pose requires strength and balance. It's a combination of the two, which makes it extra tricky. We'll go through it stage by stage. Don't feel any pressure to go ahead and rush right through the whole pose. Take your time with it, stop where you need and come out where you need. So again, we've got that 50-50 weight going on between the both feet. Our right hand's coming onto the right hip and our left arm, we extend up and into the air. So pick up that left arm as high as you can into the sky. The more length that we create here in this position along the side body, the easier it's going to be to get this hand where we want it. So inhale, lengthen, and then as we exhale, can we take this left hand down on a diagonal to the outside of the right foot? Onto your block. The block's not there, just if you haven't got a block, just rest the hand on the outside of the leg. If you find this easy enough and you want a bit more, lower the height of the block until eventually maybe you're bringing the hand all the way down onto the floor. Now once the hand's resting in position, can we rotate? Pull the right shoulder back and the left shoulder forward. This is the second stage. Third stage, if you fancy it, reach up that right arm into the air. Maybe gaze up towards that right wrist. Hold and breathe and push an equal weight through both feet for 3. Hold 2. And 1, release. Right hand back onto the right hip. Left hand onto the left hip. Press through the soles of the feet. Inhale, barrel the chest, gaze up. And then exhale, come back to the midline and turn the feet forward. Let's go, last one. We'll go onto the other foot first. So turning, twirling on the heels so that the left foot's forward now and the right foot's back. Get the block ready if you think it's going to be useful. Hands onto the hips. Oh yeah, little thing to mention. If you find balance really tricky with this, that may be because the feet are narrow like this, one in front of the other. That makes balance a lot harder. If you want the challenge, it's an option, but if you're going for a bit more stability, you can widen the feet, so you can take the feet much further apart, and that'll give you a bit more balance. Okay then, so left hand stays on the left hip. Inhale the right arm up, lengthen all the way up through those right fingers, lengthen that right side of the body. Take an inhale, grow taller, and as you exhale, reach on the diagonal and take that right hand towards the outside of the left foot. So that's our first stage. See how you feel. If you're ready for stage 2, start to rotate. Right shoulder pulling forward, left shoulder pulling back. Maybe reaching up that left arm all the way up and into the sky. Legs engaged. Perhaps send the eye gaze upwards towards that top hand if you want an extra challenge through balance. We'll hold 3, keep rotating, keep pressing into the feet. Hold 2. And 1, take it down, left hand to left hip, right hand to right hip. Press through the soles as we peel all the way back and up. From here, bringing both feet forward again. Okay, we're just going to ease out with a little bit of a wide leg forward fold to take us our last position. So then widen the stance. For this one, the wider the stance, the easier it'll be on the hamstrings. So you can go a bit wider to make this more gentle. Angle the toes in and the heels out. Hands onto the hips. Inhale as we barrel the chest. And exhale as you push the hips back and lead with the head. And keep looking forward for as long as you can, just like pyramids. And then you'll know when it's deep enough, and when it is, drop the belly, drop the chest, drop the head down and hold here. You can either hang here or you can release the hands down to the floor. Body relax, just the muscles around the kneecaps engage, so we're protecting the knee joint and lengthening a little bit more down those hamstrings. If the hands are on the floor, we'll take a little twist. If they don't quite reach the mat, place them onto your block. So we'll leave our left hand on the floor on the block and inhale, reach the right arm all the way up. Exhale the right hand down. Other way, press through the right hand, inhale the left arm up. And exhale the left hand down. Taking the hands from the ground or from your block back onto the hips, root through the soles and inhale, peel all the way back up. Again, counter stretch, a little lift of the heart. And then as we come back to center, we'll heel toe or hop the feet back into mountain pose position and finish with one last deep breath. Inhale, arms up, hands into prayer, and exhale the hands down to the heart. Namaste.